Kyoko, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. Well, any updates from yesterday?
My class is just doing coordinate geometry homework now.
Homework now. Okay. So you guys have been learning for this week, right? That's called the geometry, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Has well. Well, did your teacher say anything already about the parallel, perpendicular, midpoint?
Midpoint, I don't think so, but parallel and perpendicular, yes.
All right. So, have they given you questions that are harder than what you did?
Some of my homework questions are the questions I did already. So
Good.
yeah.
Good. That's great. That's great. Um, Maybe another question from me is, you have been ahead of the class for these 2 weeks, right? At least, right?
Yeah.
So since the start of the term 3. Now, what have you been doing in class?
Going going through the homework and like listening to the key points and teachers.
Meaning you try to follow the class, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, you have been trying that for what do you call it, binomial, and you've been trying that for quarter geometry, correct? Yeah. So how does it feel compared to, well, last time the class?
I think this time, since I feel more like familiar and like I know what the teacher is talking about, so I have more understanding and can do the work better.
Meaning the teacher also assigned some work lah.
Yeah.
Okay. All this is good, yeah, very good. And I expect that from seeing your own practice. Seeing your own practice, you are definitely not gonna have any problem. In fact, you'll probably see very few new things that we haven't covered, right? So I think in the binomial, you at least see, actually, it's very weird, right? You see one new thing, right? The different way of writing C, correct?
Yeah.
But I noticed that you didn't cover many of the hard things. For example, in your class, you did not cover the factorial thingy.
No, our teacher skipped that part.
Which is very weird because that's supposed to be like not advanced. That's just medium.
Yeah.
And I noticed a lot of variation he didn't cover. But from what you tell me, I guess that's according to what you told me. The class is like that from last time. Now that bothers me a lot. So, but then again, you already told me, right? So the class is bothering me a lot. So I feel if for correct geometry, it is, it's probably going to be the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that I want to encourage you even more to use the class time for even more practice of your own. I want to encourage that. Because if you follow, it doesn't seem that you'll be covering what we haven't covered. Whatever you miss, if there's anything that you miss, it's probably going to be very, very minor, right? Maybe there's some one or two important things, but those kind of thing is always covered in the difficult question anyway. If you really miss something basic and important at the start, if we really do that, which is very unlikely, but if we do that, we can still cover that by doing questions ourselves. That's what I feel. Right. The third thing that we may miss if we don't listen to the class in detail, is the way your teacher wants you to present your work.
Yeah.
So the style, should you do this or should you do that? Right. I think it's a bit more than just the seating. I think because the seating is correct. If you do the seating, you are not wrong. Okay. I'm talking about the presentation style that is very important to your teacher. Right. Maybe you will miss that. Maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe no. Now, is your teacher very particular in the way to present your work?
No, not really.
Okay. Let's say you look at the answer, because they at least give you the answer key for the homework and everything, right? At least, right? If you look at the answer key, can you look at the presentation style that he want, and we can take care of that problem. Okay. Then my conclusion right now is really still the same. I really want to encourage you to practice according to your level in class, not according to the class level. Because your class is very weird, the tempo. We try to get ahead, but we are now running off the get ahead. So we need to get ahead more on the next week. By right, we should be learning next week topic, right? By right. But we cannot do that comfortably and peacefully if your class is actually slowing you down. That means you slow down for the class. No benefit already. Yeah. I believe your class time per week is quite a lot. Yeah. I think also 3 hours, right?
Yeah, around there.
So tuition 3 hour, class 3 hour. So the 3 hour, I think, will mean a lot if you practice by yourself. Now, that means you won't be able to do some of the questions, right? If you practice according to your level, which is very good for tuition. That means you come to tuition and then you ask those questions. And I did this in class just now. I cannot do it, something like that. Right. That's still my recommendation. Right. Now, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Then try and be a bit more comfortable. Try this. See whether it benefits you for this topic, the next topic, the next topic. Okay. Okay. So my hope is that if you're comfortable with that, then we slowly be very consistent in getting ahead of the class this term. Then we will have some time to talk about the past. Something like that. So that's a real benefit. That's a real benefit, and I think that is justify us not staying in the class tempo, because the class tempo was never good in the first place. But then again, you already know this. You already know. Yeah. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. So having said all that, do you still have any question for chordal geometry today?
At the moment, no.
Okay. Right. So I'm not saying that chordal geometry is the easiest one, but have I shown you the shoelace method?
No. Shoelace method, sorry.
Yeah. So whenever shoelace method is mentioned, is to answer usually the final part, which is area. Now, I haven't seen any area question in your practice. This is part of the reason why I want you to go ahead. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for that. How come it's not arriving? I'm waiting for this, waiting on that. But then again, we know the reason already. It's because the class tempo is never good. We know already. Okay, so now you open your textbook. I'll go and find 1 or 2 example of the area question. I'll use that to explain the shoelace method. And unfortunately, I think then our time would have finished already, right? But let's still do that.
Wait, like in questions with area.
Usually they will ask for the area of something, right? Area of this shape or something at the end of the question. The last part. Try opening the video.
I have this here. It's not exactly asking for area. Hold on. Is the camera clear?
Not focus. So maybe you try tapping or something.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Oh, yes, much better. Okay. Are you talking about 16? Okay, no, don't zoom in too much. Zoom out. No need to zoom in too much. Zoom out again a bit more. Okay, a bit more. Yeah, around here is much more comfortable. So you circle 15 and 16. Do you want to ask question on that?
16 only. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it an area question?
Not the one I think, but at least this seems new. At least this seems new. So let's see whether. Okay. The picture seems fine. Okay, right. Picture seems fine. Then I got someone. No. Sorry, because your hand is blocking just now. I cannot take the question yet. Sorry. Please show me. Yeah, because I was waiting for. Yeah. Okay. See. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, I'll just put that in the Jamboard. So I'll put it in page 7. Okay. 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 So I'm just reading very quickly. Yeah. So since the shape rectangle, by now you know that the coordinate geometry likes to combine geometry into it. That's actually normally what happened in exam. So it's not just the coordinate geometry. They combine it with shape now. This shape is a good news because rectangle is not very difficult. We understand what's rectangle. Furthermore, the rectangle is side are horizontal or vertical. Now, what does this mean? Let me just clarify. So what I mean is this. So the rectangle looks like that, meaning that's the y-axis and x-axis, something like that. Now, why I say this is easier, because actually rectangle can be, there's no problem with that, right? But this is harder. The second rectangle is harder. The first one is much easier because horizontal or vertical makes everything just much easier. Okay, yeah? Can yeah? So looking at this area and this perimeter is already very, very easy to handle because even from primary, you know area is a base times height. And then the perimeter is 2 base plus 2 height, correct? Right. So like I really mean that, okay, isn't this the base, isn't this the height, right? Okay, this is going to be easy. And then the coordinate of one of the vertex are -3, -5. You use your drawing skill to draw that. Is I think around here. And then the origin lies in the rectangle. So actually the rectangle must be looking something like that. Something correct. Something like that. Okay. Now you can use that. You can make a guess of the rectangle by solving the base and the height. Solving the base and the height, believe it or not, does not need this at all. You just need these two things. Isn't it correct? Because one equation, another equation, two unknown, two equations, solve for it. We don't need all that. All this, is an extra extra above finding the base and the height. So this question is, I think, doable for you. Definitely go ahead and practice. But I don't want to discuss too much, right? The area I want to discuss is, I think, different than this. Okay, yeah. So if you're comfortable, we move on to the, let me, if you're comfortable with this one, show me your textbook again. Okay, again, zoom out, much more comfortable for me. Okay, thank you, Aramde. Okay, so skip, next page. Yeah, next page, no, not this one, not yet this. Okay, skip, next page. Line segment, you know, right? Midpoint of a line segment, you know this already. Skip, 7.3, let me see. Stop. For example, at question 11. Question 11, drawing, question 1, question 2, and then part 3, hence calculate the area. Okay, look at this triangle. This triangle is not, this triangle is not too easy to handle because the base and the height is not vertical and horizontal. It makes things harder, that's what I'm saying, right? So the shoelace method is invented for that purpose when things are slanted. So when the rectangle is not slanted, very easy. When the rectangle is slanted, harder. When the triangle is slanted, harder.
Yeah.
So, okay, show me the question again. Show me the question again. I'll see it. Okay. So I'll demonstrate what shoelace method is for. Yeah. So, so I'm gonna ignore part 1 and part 2. Okay, done. Thank you. Ignore part 1, part 2. Okay, go ahead. You can look at the chipboard. Now, I'm going to demonstrate 2 methods to calculate the area immediately. And then you're going to make a comparison. And hopefully you can practice that until the end of this week. Okay. Now, please tell me what's the topic after this, after correct geometry.
Circle.
Oh, let me see one more time. Let me see again. Okay, so we did not cover this at all in holiday tuition.
No.
So for this one, you're not ahead for this one. Okay, first thing first. Secondly, this guy is harder, much harder than coordinate geometry and requires coordinate geometry. So there are 2 bad news here. 2 bad news. Plus the mark is a lot. Like so in exam, the coordinate geometry question is a lot of marks. But good news for you if you can do it, because it's usually not that difficult. And the circle one also a lot. So like double coordinate geometry, like one is like this one, one is the circle one. Both are major big question. Okay, and for some reason we missed this one in the holiday. So 2 bad news. 1 good news for you. Only 1 good news. You seem to be a very visual person. Since you're a very visual person, that part is indispensable for circle. That means we have to use it. We have to use the advantage of it. Okay. But having said that, I'm even more motivated to teach you circle first. For example, at least on Sunday, because that's the timer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you must understand, your coordinate geometry might at least be good enough before we go to circle. That's the requirement. So more motivation for you to practice more during, maybe tomorrow, something like tomorrow or Friday. Okay, maybe during class. Okay, understand, yeah? Okay, now I'm teaching you the area. That will be the last thing I teach you for today until you have your own question. Now, I will demonstrate the first one. The first method is called the shoelace method. Now, the shoelace method doesn't make sense. You must understand this. The shoelace method is pure memorization. They don't explain to you why it works. That is a problem. Because if you memorize wrongly or you forget how to work it out, there is no logic that you understand. You just have to follow the step. That's the bad thing about shoelace method. The good thing is that it works everywhere, every time. Okay, and not just triangle. So triangle works, but a super complicated shape like this one, don't know what shape that is, also works. No problem one. So that's the good thing about shoelace. Okay. Yeah? Now, Aditya, I can see you. Can you hear me loud?
Yep. Hi.
All right. All right. So, just quick question for you, Aditya, before I go. You just finished your exam, right? For chemistry.
Yeah.
All right. How are you tired today?
I mean, not really.
Okay. All right. Because if you're tired after exam, then I would like at least maybe you can move it to tomorrow lah. Right? At least I want to help you like that. Yeah, if that is possible. But if not, then let's do it today. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just do it today because
Good.
tomorrow I got another class anyway. So
All right. So
yeah.
I explain to Kyoko something first, and then I'm gonna see what you want to ask me, right?
All right.
Okay. So Kyoko, the new thing, yeah. So for shoelace. Wait, before we continue. So Aditya, are you going to cover the topic coordinate geometry?
Oh, we already
Or,
did CG.
did you cover the method called the shoelace method?
I do not think so.
Okay, then for today, there seems to be no urgent matter, right? For today for you.
No.
Okay, then because shoelace method you will cover sooner or later, then I prefer that we will cover it today together, because Ainesh already knows how to do it because he needed before you guys. So if there's no other urgent method, I want to explain to you and Kyoko lah, what is the shoelace method. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So if you're going to do that together, so Kyoko and Aditya, I'll just share my screen instead. Now, if I'm sharing my screen, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. It's very complicated. Today we are already wasting some time. So, Kyoko, I'm going to share this one to Aditya. Okay.
Okay.
Aditya's Likit. Okay, Aditya, you will receive another Jamboard sharing by the name of Kyoko. Could you find that?
Reloading it. Yes.
Good. Now access that. Go to page 7. Tell me if you see a triangle at page 7.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So new thing, Aditya and Kyoko. Very quickly, Aditya, the shoelace method is meant to find an area. Now, an area of, for example, a triangle. Obviously, the area of triangle, half base times height, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But this triangle, you will notice, is slanted, meaning the triangle is not like that lah. This is comparatively much easier because if my triangle is like that, finding the base is much easier and finding the height is much easier. This triangle, finding the base requires some work, finding the height requires even more work. Make sense? So far?
Yeah.
Right. So for this kind of slanted shape, the shoelace method, which is what I'm going to show you today, the shoelace method will be very effective. In fact, the shoelace method is very effective for any shape and any orientation, slanted or not slanted. That's the powerfulness or the power of the shoelace method, whatever that shoelace method is. Okay. Now, a slight warning to everybody: shoelace method does not make sense. It is pure memorization. That's the weakest part of shoelace method. I will now show you the shoelace method, Aditya and Kyoko, and then I'm going to show another method, which is the opposite of shoelace method. Okay, any questions so far, Aditya?
No.
All right, so now, pure memorization. Okay, I'll make it very clear. For shoelace, you will go like that or like that, doesn't matter very much, right? So in this case, you can start from B, C, A. You can start from A, you can start from B, you can start from C. Aditya, choose a random point for me.
A.
All right, so we'll start from A, but you can start from B and C, doesn't matter. A, B, C, double, repeat A. Okay, A, B, C, A. That's how I start my shoelace method. Now I'm going to write A as 6 and minus 4. I'm going to write my B as minus 2 and 4. I'm going to set my C, 5, 3, and again 6, minus 4. All this doesn't make a lot of sense, but can you follow Aditya?
Yeah.
Can you follow Kyoko?
Yeah.
Here comes the shoelace. Here comes the shoelace. Watch it. I'm going to times them. I'm not going to add them. No explanation given. 24. Okay. Aditya, times for me, please.
-6.
Good. Kyoko.
-20.
Good. Now, other shoelace. Shoelace not only like one direction. So the other shoelace, I'll go up. We need some space here. So Kyoko.
Where?
Oh, it's not updating very quickly. Oh dear. Oh. Okay, you see. Good. So that will be
8.
8. Now, Aditya.
20.
Okay, Kyoko.
18.
18. Again, no explanation given on why I'm doing all this. No explanation at all. What is the connection with this and area? No explanation. It's pure memorization, these steps. However, it's not very difficult to follow it. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to sum them all up. The blue one with the blue, the red one with the red. Now, Aditya, you sum up the blue. Kyoko, you're going to sum up the red. So give me the number.
Is it 46?
I think so. And then positive 46, just to make it clear. And then Kyoko. Kyoko. The red one, sum it up. 24 plus minus 6 plus minus 20 is?
-2.
Yeah, -2. Right. No explanation given. Now, for the final area, that means the area of the triangle. The area of triangle is going to be equals to half the absolute value of this guy minus this guy. Okay, so Aditya, 46 minus minus 2 will be?
48.
Right. If you accidentally minus 2 minus 46, you will get minus 48. If you accidentally do that, correct, right? The minus will not be a problem because everything will be absolute. You know what absolute means, right, Aditya?
Yeah.
Kyoko, okay?
No.
Oh, the absolute symbol means the inside only positive is allowed. Meaning to say, if you see negative 48, you just absolute it becoming positive 48.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you accidentally minus 2 minus 46, you still have the absolute to cover you. Just say, okay? And the answer here will be 24. So magic, 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 shoelace, 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 do this, do this, do that, do that, do that. 24 is the area. No explanation given. Can follow so far?
I think so.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though, yeah? Told you from the start.
Yeah,
Kyoko?
I mean.
Yes, Kyoko?
Sorry, is this half?
Oh, yes, that is half. And also no explanation given why that's half. It's not because of the triangle. It's always half.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's just half times 48. Yeah,
correct,
half
which is
times
why that's why it's 24. Okay, yeah. Now, I'm going to do a method which is opposite shoelace, meaning it's totally understandable and still can use anytime on. So it is equally powerful to shoelace, but at least this one can make sense, right? Now, good news for both of you, Kyoko and Aditya, both of you are visual. Now, the next method, the second method, will be very, very visual. Okay, now, please observe the picture. I am going to create a just nice fitting rectangle. What do I mean by that? Yeah, okay, something like that. My rectangle just fit
Oh,
the triangle, just fit, yeah. I use this by the power of, well, visualization. Visualization. For example, I'm sorry. I noticed that this guy is the bottommost point. That's not very difficult to see. Bottommost point. So bottommost, touching the -4. Okay. I noticed that this guy is the leftmost. Again, nothing complicated to see. I also see that this guy is the topmost, not this guy. This guy is lower than this guy. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I also noticed that this guy is the rightmost, not this guy also. This guy is just hanging around in the middle. So my rectangle is touching these 2 points, but not touching this point by design. Rightmost, leftmost, topmost, bottommost. Can follow visually, both of you?
Yes.
yeah.
Now, please notice that my rectangle is, so to speak, upright, not slanted. My triangle is slanted. I don't want slanted things. I want upright rectangle because my life is very easy if things are upright, not slanted like this. That is the whole point of this method. Now, observe that it is extremely easy to find the area of the rectangle. So, Kyoko, what is the area of the rectangle? Aditya, your assignment is to calculate the area of this triangle. Also extremely easy, right? So, Kyoko?
56.
56. But why? Because the height of the rectangle is...
7.
No, it's 8. From 4 to -4. The height is 8. Don't you think?
Oh, I took this point. Sorry.
That's why it must be the topmost, which is the 4, not the 3. So it's 8. Okay. Then the width of the rectangle is
8.
8 also. Oh, it's a square. Okay. Lucky us. Doesn't matter. Now, for you, Aditya, what's the triangle? The triangle is, not surprisingly, half of that. So our first triangle, 1, right? So triangle 1 is 32. Again, not a surprising thing. Now, this part, this boomerang part, looks difficult. Not at all. Titung, titung, a small rectangle. And now I have a small rectangle, a simple triangle, and another simple triangle, all upright, not slanted. Can you see that? Even though my drawing is super ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take the easy thing first. This is the rectangle 2. So for this small rectangle 2, Kyoko, you're going to do that. And I'm going to ask Aditya to do this rectangle, this triangle 3. Okay. Triangle 3. Please do that. So give me rectangle 2 and triangle 3. All visual stuff, yeah? If you cannot see, tell me. Okay, Kyoko, rectangle 2.
1.
1 times 1, right? Equals to 1,
Yeah.
right? Okay, good. Rectangle 3, Aditya. What is the, the base and the height standard?
So it's going to be half times 7 times 1.
Yeah, which is 3.5, right?
7 over 2, 3.5.
Now, bear with me, Aditya. Kyoko, our last triangle. This one is also half times 7 times 1, isn't it? So happens it's the same. Can you see that? Yeah. Can you see that, Aditya?
Yeah.
So half times 7 times 1 equals to 3.5. Now, why bother with all this, symbol shape? Why do we bother? Any idea? What we want would be equal to 64 the square minus everything else. Does that make some sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
just
think
press
so.
your calculator. And the answer will be
Negative 39.
3.5, Aditya, not 35. You
Ooh.
calculate the area yourself, right? 3.5. And another 3.5.
24.
Right. Okay, Kyoko, you have your answer. Okay, 34 and 24. So, well, they are both super different method, superbly different, right? There's no similarity in them at all. If both of them give you the same answer, it would be very unlikely for both of them to be wrong. Very unlikely. It would be very likely for both of them to be actually correct. Okay, because they are superbly different methods. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Now, Aditya, Kyoko, you're going to practice both. You're going to practice the visual method and the shoelace method, vice versa, whichever first. Once you're ready, I am going to erase both of them. You're going to practice it on paper. Okay. Okay. Let me warn you, to be fair, the visual method is not a simple work. It requires you to draw yourself. The shoelace method is not a simple work. It requires you to memorize the step. No understanding given. Right? Both have their own weaknesses. Whenever you're ready, whenever both of you are ready, I'm going to now erase it. And then
Can I ask a question?
of course, okay, of course.
Just now you told Aditya to pick a point, then he picked A. What if you pick B or C?
So B, C, A, B. B, C, A, B, or just to be clear, you can also B, A, C, B. It will give you the same answer. That's not a problem at all, is what I'm trying to say. The problem is what to do after that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But no explanation given. Sorry, no explanation given. It is a good question. However, it is a very good question.
Well, it's just 4 of this, right? No more.
More like this. So triangle, 3 vertex and 3 points, right? Then repeat the first one. It's always repeat the first one.
Okay.
Right? But the second one can be anybody. So if there's a shape later, which is not, triangle, but let's say, pentagon, so 5. So you will go 5 plus 1, no? 5, repeat the first. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Why like that? Don't know.
Okay.
Aditya, any question?
No.
Prepare your paper, people. Okay. I'm gonna erase both of them. Okay. I'm gonna erase the method here. Okay. Erase. Please practice. Yeah.
So we do which question?
No, the same question again. Same question. Same
Okay.
question. Just repeat first, first time doing all this. Okay. You have 15 minutes for both methods, so don't take too long, right? Don't take too long. And ask me questions, Ask me questions when you realize, what am I supposed to do? Ask me questions, right?
Okay, so can I just write on the Jamboard?
Okay, but please put it on the next page so that at least Aditya will have a clean page. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Kyoko, I see that you're trying BCAB. That's a very good try, right? Okay, you're doing the shoelace properly, I would say. Yeah, yeah. All right, okay. Properly. ABCA, shoelace, right. Okay, both of you are doing it kind of tidily for shoelace. I like it because if it is not tidy, it is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because we cannot see any mistake one because again, no sense, no sense of things. Now, Aditya, for method 2, it is very visual. So you have to draw, either draw on Jamboard or draw on paper. You have to draw. There is no way around it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
If you want to take your time drawing, that's a good use of time. Right? It's a good use of time. Right. So Kyoko, just like that, I already see one mistake, definitely. And it's a simple math mistake one. And that's the weaknesses. That's the second weakness of shoelace. I can definitely see the mistake. Definitely. Because shoelace are very prone to simple mistakes like this. Yep. So 46 minus 2 lah. So notice Kyoko, if this is exam, you will not have any sense that it is wrong. Correct?
Yeah.
That is the weakness of shoelace. You have to do everything precisely. And there is no telling whether you're right or wrong. There is no telling. So it has its own advantage and disadvantages. Aditya, would you move up a bit so at least I can follow your second method? Okay, something like that. Okay, yeah, something. Yeah. The final drawing seems very helpful. Good. You focus on getting the upright rectangle, upright fitting rectangle. Yeah, good. Okay, Aditya. So you do get the rectangle. That's an easy one. So you have to minus everything else lah. Slowly. So you're saying that rectangle is 8 times 7, is it? Now make it clear for yourself. 8 is the height or 8 is the base?
8 is the height.
So from 4 to minus 4, I agree with you. Now how about the base? How did you get the 7?
From -2 to 5.
That's your problem. You did not choose the rightmost. The rightmost is not 5. The rightmost is?
It is.
Look at the 3 vertices, right?
It's
6.
it's 6.
Yes, because -2, 5, and 6. Obviously, we choose -2 and 6, right? Obviously.
Right.
Right. So you see what I mean by the method is extremely visual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're a visual person now, so should still be okay. Should still be okay. At least that's what I believe. So 8 times 8. That's a good start now.
Oh God.
I don't mind moving up a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So you start with that. Okay, that's the first. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
think I'm
All
done.
right. All right. Right. So yeah, just notice that. All right. So how do you feel so far for both methods?
I guess it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Your traditionally teacher will favor the shoelace method exclusively.
Yeah, I do too. It's like more straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like
And
less having to imagine. Like, I mean, I would much rather do it a faster way than sit there and think about rectangles.
before you decide finally, because both methods have its own strengths and weaknesses, better practice shoelace a few more times, right? A few more times. You have an idea how it feels, right? Okay. Now, agreeably, when you do it correctly, it is faster. Agreeably, just to be, it is. Okay. So just waiting for Kyoko.
Oh, and in school we are doing like trigonometry in general triangles.
Meaning non-90 degree,
Yeah, non-right angle triangles.
which means you have to use sine rule and cosine rule already.
Yep, we learned that today in school.
Should be okay.
Yeah, it's quite easy for now.
Now, Aditya, I treat you a little bit differently from Kyoko and Ainesh. What do I mean by that? I don't force you to go ahead of the class when you're already ahead. Like, for example, oh yeah, it should be easy for you. We learned that before, what, intuition, something like that, right? Oh, then enjoy your class. Look, that's my general response to you. Good, you deserve that. You did something good last time, so now you reap the benefit by simply enjoying the class. No pressure. All right. Okay. I say things very differently to Ainesh and Kyoko. Ainesh is just in the most hectic syllabus I've known in Singapore. So wherever he's ahead, he has to be faster because he has a lot to catch up from the past. Kyoko has a very different class experience because her class experience, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyoko, but the class tempo is very, very not good. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So following the class is a bad idea for her. It's very weird. It's very weird to be a student in a bad class. Yeah, very weird. So I say to Kyoko, you're ahead, but we need to set our own tempo. We need to do our own practice. We cannot rely on the class, which is why I'm doing this with her today. Okay, I noticed that she will probably be studying this maybe at the end of this week. I haven't teach this in holiday tuition. Cannot rely on her class to do. Cannot. Her class skips all the important stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super weird, Aditya. But now you know why Kyoko needs tuition. I mean, how to survive like that, something like that, right? In the most difficult topic. Ainesh, even though all of you haven't learned this, Ainesh need this faster than both of you. It gives you an idea how fast his syllabus tempo is. Not to mention his requirement in exam. Right? You doesn't seem to have those two problems. So a demanding exam and a mess up class. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
So I don't give you a lot of pressure because I don't sense the need. I just want you to enjoy the learning process and, really in some ways do have fun learning new stuff and getting things correct. If I'm wrong, Aditya, you better tell me. You understand? If I'm wrong to assume that you have a lot of leeway compared to Kyoko and Ainesh, you must tell me. Don't let me commit that mistake if I assume that things are easier for you. Don't let me be mistaken. Understand it?
Not really. Like in my school, like the teachers are pretty chill and they give like enough amount of homework for me to and
to
like
prepare
extra
for
worksheets
class.
and stuff.
Yeah.
To like and like we have this thing called support sessions where basically on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday after school we just can go to the teachers' rooms after school until like 4:30,
Yep.
and they'll just be there for us to ask questions.
Right. That's what I feel
So,
lah. Your class
yeah.
is good lah. Your class is good. Your school is good. They're doing their
Yeah.
job well, such that you can also do your job well. Simple lah, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, then do you understand, Kyoko and Aditya? I treat everybody differently. Do you understand this?
Yeah,
And
and
that
like
is Mhm.
like I said before, when we started, that math isn't really my thing. So yeah, so it's like cool to have fun while doing math, because in e-math class, like I said, our teacher just she teaches us the topic and gives us worksheets to do it. She doesn't really care if we do it or not, but if you give it to her, she'll like mark it for you and explain it for you. So yeah, it's like a more self-directed type of learning.
Correct. That's how I treat you lah. That's how I treat you. Right. I seem to feel that your situation is like this. I seem to feel that you have enough drive to learn. So I am not very stressed, so to speak. So if you can understand all this, if Ines is here, I just reiterate the same thing. If you can understand why I treat you guys all differently and be cool with that, then just don't let me be mistaken. Okay?
All right.
So good, Kyoko, good everybody, if you understand, right? Okay. So that's for today. This method you will need to practice by yourself when the time comes for you, Aditya, when the time comes. So you practice your shoelace method properly when the time comes.
All right.
You, Kyoko, will not wait, right? You will go and try it out in a future upcoming question, not waiting for your teacher. Then you will be safe, right? You are going to try either one method or both method, and then you're going to make a decision which one to do after a few tries. Don't be too hasty.
Okay.
If we try this after the class ended and you have to catch up and exam is coming, we have no time to try. They have to make a decision. You're going to try this, but now we have time. You have time, so try it. Okay?
Okay.
With that said, if there is no other question, good job for today. I will see you on Sunday.
Bye.
All right, then.
Okay.